Well, let's bring in somebody who does own it, somebody you are familiar with as well. Blue Line Capital's Bill Baruch. He joins us now. So you took the position, Bill, it's good to see you, by the way, on August the 18th. So what do you do today? How are you feeling about, the stock and the move it's making relative to what they reported?
Thanks for having me on, Judge. Yeah, you're right. This is a tough little situation here. We added August 18th, about 114.40 was where we were in there. I wish I was coming on talking about adding more at a higher level, but that's not the case. Right now, it's managing risk. If you look back at that June 9th close prior to that good earnings report they had then, that was 109.80. So I'm looking at that as a big support. It was pinged here early this morning, and it's responded a bit. And I'm also looking at that November high, about 106.5. That's the pocket I do not want to see this stock get below. I will not own it if it starts breaking below there. Step aside. Now, I think Josh made some really good points, and I do like the name. I do think it's in an uptrend, but I need to manage risk if it starts getting below there. Their revenue came in up 9% year over year. If you go back the last several quarters, they've increased revenue year over year from 16 to 19%. The trend is there. So is this an anomaly is the question. I think a lot got pulled forward with not only some of the numbers, but the expectations. I think, again, what Josh said about Larry Ellison's comments, they've doubled the amount of contracts signed over the last quarter. So I think there's a trend here. And I think it's really interesting that they're using generative AI within their own environment, moving over Cerna into the software. So they're implementing that instead of using Java code. So I think it's really interesting. I think the company is going to continue to find ways to improve, and we'll find this name higher. It's just in the near term about managing risk.
Well, so at 106, you'd consider, it sounds like, being a seller. At what point do you consider buying more? What would the stock have to do from the 111 where it is today? Just stay above 106, find that support again at 109, and then you'd consider buying more if you just articulated the fact that you think the longer-term story is good from here.
Yes, absolutely. What you don't want to be, even if you own something, the same way if you're looking at buying a stock that's fallen, a falling knife, so to speak, as a new position, you don't want to be buying a falling knife. You want to see this thing sort of, pick up an opportunity here where there's support, where there's buying interest, and people are willing to step in. So the same way, if you actually own a name and it's going to fall, you want to make sure you get out of the way and you can let things settle in. I don't need to pick a bottom here. So in the next couple of days, if it continues to sell off, I'd rather step aside, look for it to regain 110 and to show some stability here. And we don't know what the broader market environment may bring in the next couple of days, too, with the CPI and what be coming from the Fed. So I want to make sure the volatility within Oracle is something that I can manage. Now, it's not a top 5 name of ours. It's right in the middle of the pack. But again, I was hoping that this trend that we've seen with the Oracle over the past couple of quarters was going to continue. And I would be adding at even at a higher level because the momentum was there.
All right, good stuff. I appreciate hearing from you, Bill. Thank you. That's Bill Baruch, Blue Line, joining us today on that Oracle fallout. Shares down, about 13% or so. We'll watch that for the remainder of the session. Up next, we're going to do our